guys, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Airsoft Podcast. Today we have Tyler, or Shady, our co-host.
Yo.
And we have Grin from AirsoftSociety and UTAG. What's up, Grin?
What's up?
Yeah, this is episode number 7. Our second episode with Tyler, or Shady. Matt couldn't make it again because he's just that cool.
He's useless.
Yeah, he's useless. I don't even know why he couldn't make it today. Last time he had to work at CVS or wherever he works.
Yeah.
This time he just decided to drop out and didn't reply to my message. But anyways, I don't really feel like spending a lot of time on this intro because it's already like an hour past when we were supposed to start. And so, Tyler, you want to go ahead and talk about your giveaway?
Guys, my WE service, Shady's WE, we're doing a giveaway right now where you're giving away basically a WE 1911 that's got a couple of DIY mods from me that I built this thing from the ground up from spare parts I had laying around. So if you check out our site on Facebook, give us a like. It's under Shady's WE The instructions are all there for you to know how to enter the contest, and hopefully we'll be drawn for a winner soon. So don't delay on getting your entry in.
Yep, I think we have like less than 70 people can enter still. So you guys need to enter fast before it ends. And hopefully we'll be picking that in like 2 weeks if all goes well. If people actually start liking the pages. And is there anything else besides, yeah?
I don't think anything.
Well, we'll move into our news.
Okay, really there's not much news this time because of the Chinese New Year starting, so we're going to go ahead and start it off. WE has actually decided to enter the MP7 market. Now, because of licensing issues, it's not a perfect copy of an MP7. There's just a couple differences that keep it from having the licensing issues. They go by the SMG8. And it's going to be gas, as most of the guns are. I'm not too excited about it because it is a WE and I really don't like their stuff. It looks nice, but until I want to see some reviews on it first before I would consider buying one. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about on this?
It reminds me of I would just name it the Tactical MP7.
It reminds me of what was in Black Ops 2 actually. Sorry for bringing up Call of Duty, but like how they always make stuff just so close to being the real thing, but it looks weird in some way, and they kind of put it almost a futuristic look to it.
That flash hider on there is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that looks like a SCAR flash hider.
Yeah, it's like 2 inches long.
Yeah, it's too big for the gun.
Yeah, and it looks like it's just like the plain body with a bunch of slashes cut into it.
Yeah. The irons look like they won't be as good.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually,
honestly,
the front iron sight looks like a mini EOTech.
It kind of does.
Yeah, it does.
But I probably won't be getting this just because there are so many other better options on the. Well, I wouldn't say better since we don't know much about it, but there are so many other good options on the market right now that are actually MP7s.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the KWA, or I'd rather have the Tokyo Marui personally, but
those things are murder to get your hands on right now.
Yeah, but if I ever decided to get an MP7, I'd buy a Tokyo Marui.
I concur.
Yep. Same. MP7.
Yeah. But
50
those are
accuracy.
Yeah. But
Never
MP7, if you're using an MP7 for CQB, 50 feet is really all you need.
Yeah. Plus they're like $30.
Yeah, they're cheap. Anyway, next thing up, we have PolarStar is releasing their Gen 3 of the version 2 Fusion Engine. This will feature, it will come with the trigger and steel selector plate, so you can install it into any M4, M16 rifle that's TM compatible. It also has what they call their MilSim manifold, which allows you to put the airline to come out of the buffer tube sling plate instead of coming out of the grip. I really don't see that as being really MilSim at all, but it might be more comfortable for people. But personally, I don't run a PolarStar. I don't see the point in PolarStar. I don't like having a hose. If I wanted to run something that used an air rig, I'd pick up a Classic. But that's just me.
But PolarStar's, their accuracy and their range is amazing.
From like a purely performance point of view, they are pretty good, but I mean, I wouldn't pick one up, and the Milsim manifold, it's still friggin' hose coming out of your gun.
Yep, there's my point right there.
You can't hide a hose no matter what.
I mean, I've seen some people try to kind of sort of cleverly disguise one as a hydro tube, but it's still going through your gun.
Yeah.
Wait, if it's coming out the sling point, couldn't you like thread it through a bungee sling?
You could, technically.
In theory.
Which would actually not be bad.
It might be uncomfortable though. Plus, depending on where you have your tank mounted, that might not be a practical idea.
Most people put it in their backpacks or their hydro packs.
Right, but if your sling's going around your neck, where's the exit point on your bungee sling where the tube would come out to go into the pouch?
I don't know.
Right, I don't know, wherever.
Somewhere.
If I want to do Milsim or something like that, if I want something reliable, I'll just throw some upgrades into my, in my AEG and just do it that way.
Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't buy a PolarStar, but they're decent. If you're just playing like skirmishes, not exactly Milsim, then it's fine. But if you're going to like a big event that's actual Milsim, then I would never ever bring a PolarStar.
Yeah, the only thing I would use on a PolarStar really is the adjustable RPS, just because a lot of the fields I play at have a lot of little children. So if I can flick it up to 50, 60 rounds per second and get them wetting themselves, then it's a good day for me.
Yep. Or if you have the, but you can, never mind. Never mind.
No, never mind? You're not gonna say what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say something about the Burst Wizard, but never mind.
Okay, also, G&P is entering the Vietnam Airsoft scene. They have a M16A1 coming out. They also have an XM177E2 coming out. These look pretty nice. G&P externals are always really, really nice. The M16A1 looks really accurate to to the actual M16A1, which is something you really don't see that often in the airsoft scene. They'll market it as an M16A1, but it won't be exact. So it'd be kind of nice to see G&P do it right. G&P externals, as always, are really good. So these seem to be promising rifles. I don't see a price range on those just yet, but probably expect between $300 and $400 for it as being a G&P.
One difference between the 177E2 and the M16A1 that I'm already seeing is the A1 seems to have the Colt trademarks, while the 177E2 has G&P trademarks, which I always hated because they're so big. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the final models or whatever, but...
also that flash hider on the XM177.
Oh my god.
That is...
That's worse than the flash hider on my Mark 18.
I can't say what I was going to compare it to because it's supposed to be a PG show, so...
and of course, it's going to have the normal AEG problems where it's going to be bigger than a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's just AEGs in general.
Yeah, but I mean, the flash hider really isn't a big deal for me because I always end up throwing a Noveski on anything anyway.
Why would you throw a Noveski on a 177?
Because it amplifies the sound and it makes it sound really, really cool.
I hate you.
I love Noveskis. I mean, you saw when I threw the Noveski on my 226.
I don't remember that, actually.
I might post a picture up later.
Okay.
But, yeah, I put a Noveski on my P226 and it actually looks pretty cool.
Anything Shady makes looks cool.
That's right. Don't you forget it.
That's why you should go buy all his pistols.
Well, I have like 14 right now, so...
So that's one for everyone.
Yeah. Well,
here's something. So, the new FCC innards for Sistema M4s, apparently they're pretty good. Just saw that.
Sistema.
Yeah, Sistema.
You know, the thing where the motors pretty
mind,
much die as soon as you get it? So you have to get them tacked?
Sistema's pretty much overrated in my mind, but I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of people that would disagree with me.
I mean, they're good, but not for $1,200.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend $1,200 on a rifle. Sorry.
Yeah.
If
You can upgrade it. You can make an upgraded AEG for better than the system.
At the point where I'd spend $1,200 on Systema plus, I don't know, like another $300, $400 on the upgrades, and then maybe another like $200 to send them to TAC to get the motor fixed. I'd rather just get a gas blowback if I really wanted realism.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Systema.
If I wanted realism, I'd just take my AEG and just mod it to where I have realistic rate of fire and all that stuff, so I won't have to worry about the gas.
Which you can do with the Burst Wizard. You can lower the ROF by percentages.
Yeah, I mean, that way I can use standard caps, real caps, whatever they are, whatever you want to call them, and just make my AEG pretty much milsim. The only difference is it's not 1-to-1 scale with real steel. But
if you want really that, you got Nose, WEs, and everything.
Yeah, but if you're really that obsessed about milsim that you want it to be 1-to-1, that's
Don't
just
judge
not
me.
Then you should stop playing Airsoft.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, that's just stop playing Airsoft and switch to simunitions.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but
that's expensive though.
People's Republic of California.
Yeah. Okay, then also looks like VFC is entering the GBB pistol market now. They actually released an M&P 9 compact. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. The price is a decent point. It's $139.99 pre-order on Airsoft GI right now. But from what I've heard about VFC's rifles, I'm not too sure about this pistol. I might end up picking one up just because I really want an M&P and because I like to collect GBBs. So,
obviously,
I've got 14 of them right now. Why not make it 15? Then before I build my race pistol, then. But this looks pretty interesting. From what I'm reading around, it does seem pretty accurate to the real steel. So that would be kind of nice. I'm not a big fan of compact guns, so this probably won't be something I'd actually play with. This will probably just be a wall mounter. Mainly because I already do carry either my 1911 full size or my 5.7 on the field. And I really don't need anything other than those.
6 hour? You need more 6 hour?
Actually, I might start carrying my 226. I don't know.
Good.
This thing the M&P 9 only holds 14 rounds, and, I do a lot of CQB work, so I go through 14 rounds pretty quickly.
Is VFC M&P already released?
Not that I can see. Right now,
it's on pre-order right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
ETA.
ETA 419.
Yeah.
Okay, so April 19th.
April.
Yep.
I might pick one up. I might just get one for my birthday instead. I don't know. I got a PX4 for Christmas, so I might get an M&P for my birthday. But I'm thinking about starting to sell off my pistols anyway and switching to real steel, so.
California.
Switching to real steel. Who does that?
Nobody here.
Nope.
Okay.
You guys have anything? What?
I'm just saying, I don't have any more news.
No more news, guys?
No, we're like totally blank today.
Fight Club
Our SHOT Show, everyone goes
have.
Oh,
home and dies.
It's right after SHOT Show and it's Chinese New Year, so there's not going to be that much news.
Yep, everyone basically goes home and dies after SHOT Show. But we do have 2 reviews to make up for it, so.
Sweet.
Well, we'll do the reviews after Grin does his gear segment. Okay, and now we're going to be talking with Grin about gear. Grin is what we call the resident gear snob over on AirsoftSociety. Him along with our buddy Neef. They're pretty much the go-to guys about gear over on that website. So Grin, why don't you tell us, because I know we've got a lot of newer listeners out there and a lot of newer players, and even some experienced players like myself really don't know that much about gear. I've always thrown myself more into the guns part of Airsoft, and I just picked up my first decent piece of gear like 2 months ago. So why don't you tell our listeners more about, where to buy gear from, where not to buy gear from, what they're looking for when they're buying a used piece of gear to know if it's going to last them for a while, and what kind of brands to stay away from as far as buying gear.
Well, first off, the main problem that I've seen with the gear world is that guys just don't really care about it. I mean, as you said, you've always been kind of more into the gun world, and that's how most people are, where they'll gladly spend $400 on a gun if they really want to outperform everyone else. But then they won't spend more than $80 on gear. And, you know, to me that seems kind of butt backwards to censor it. But, you know, most guys that doesn't really seem backwards. I mean, I've spent $450 on my plate carrier. My uniform's actually really cheap because I live in Southern California right near Pendleton. But I mean, it's actually really simple once you get down to it. There are certain brands that you want to stay away from, like Condor and Matrix and all that. And although places like Evic and Airsoft GI, they push them really hard. It's like Christ's second coming when you hear them talk about Condor. But really, they're not as good as they make them out to be. I own a couple Condor products. Even those are breaking way too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
What?
I've got when I just bought my APC about 2 months ago, I actually grabbed a Condor triple mag pouch for it just so I could hold a couple more magazines, and it's seen like 2 hours worth of use and it's already starting to fray. So, obviously, Condor products are not that great.
Yeah, I mean, like, my Condor soft shell, I use it as an EDC as well as for actual games. It's probably their best product, and even that has some pretty major issues where it's essentially falling apart, and I don't even use it for very heavy weather or anything. You know, that's just the sad truth of it. But, you know, there are some good products out there. I mean, if you look on Airsoft GI, I wouldn't suggest buying gear from them, but they have Pantech stuff, and that's really their only good tactical gear as far as nylon goes. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they just came out with their line of 609-4As, and they've had the RRVs and stuff out there for a while. But they've overpriced them by so much. And it's really the unfortunate thing, because guys see that, and they're like, well, they've been pushing Condor for so long, why can't I just buy that for $40 instead of buying a $100 Pantech or fly vest? And it's the reason that it's so much more expensive, which they're really not that expensive when you look at the white things, is because they're the quality products.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned Fly and Pantech. I mean, the standard response to any thread on AirsoftSociety that we get is, don't buy Condor, don't buy Black, go to Shooter CB gear for Fly and Airsoft Smith for Pantech. Don't buy a Satch family vest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how shallow it's gotten on that forum, because we get the same question about, I don't know, 5 to 10 times a day, maybe a little bit less on the less popular days on AirsoftSociety.
Mm-hmm. What's wrong with the Satch family of vests? Actually a while back, before I started just running leg rigs, I had the King Arms MPS, which is the WE Satch style. I quite enjoyed that vest, honestly. What problems do you see with the Satch family?
It's not necessarily a bad design of vest. It just has some major design issues that make it so we can't justify recommending it to people over other styles of vests, because most people see it and they see the integrated mag pouches, which can hold, like 8 mags, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it held 8 magazines, plus it had 2 radio pouches, which I used one for a pistol, which was kind of handy.
Yeah, and, you know, that's really great, but then when you actually look at it, those mag pouches have next to no retention unless they're completely filled. And and they cut off your molly space by half, so now suddenly you've got 2 different areas of molly instead of one big ol' front plate carrier of molly.
Mm-hmm.
And it has terrible balance. I mean, when I ran one for I don't know how long, I just kind of blurred one. I had to fill up a map entirely with stuff just to have it, like, refrain from it sagging forward and, like, hitting me in the crotch every time I ran.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, there are other great designs such as the EPC. They call it the Molly style plate carrier from Fly and Pantech, although Pantech's model isn't that great. Or the 609-4A, which is what I ran. Or the APC, like what you run. I mean, we just can't justify recommending something when there's better things available for the same price.
Okay, that makes sense. What kind of stuff do players need to look for if they're looking at buying gear used? Like, in person, if they're looking at a piece of gear and they're like, hey, I like this, they get a good price on it. What kind of things do they need to watch out for as far as what not to buy, or where they need to look for problem areas to see if it's going to break down on them.
Well, if you have a sharp eye, you can always look out for mismatched molly spacing and everything. But if you don't even have that, then, just look at the brand names and make sure that they prove that it's a brand. Because I've seen people sell Condor vests on eBay and stuff for literally the price of a new LBT. Because people just don't know what they're looking for. But when you're buying gear used, you can talk to the guy. You can ask like, oh, hey, can you send me a picture of the tag? Or, hey, could you send me a picture of the backplate? And once you get better at identifying gear, you don't even need to for them to tell you that, because you can just know what it is. And once again, don't buy black.
Black doesn't blend with anything.
Nope.
Black doesn't even blend with black.
It doesn't, because you're always going to be darker than your background.
Well, that's not even what I'm talking about. I've seen people wearing black vests and black fight suits, and it just didn't work. Because there is really no solid. Every company's black is going to be different, even if it's just slightly.
Yeah, just like Magpul and ACM Magpul.
Oh God!
I've got. This isn't even gear, but I've got black dress pants and I've got a black dress shirt, and they're still really off as far as coloration. So it actually really looks not that great put together. But so there's always going to be differences in colors. That happens with other gear too, but it's really not as noticeable.
Yeah, if you look at, say, the khaki for different companies, the Pantac khaki looks like really yellow. The Fly khaki looks like Eagle's MJK, Mike Johnson khaki, it has a very distinctive green tone to it. And then you've got, like, Condor tan, where it is literally yellow.
Yeah.
I've never seen something so ugly.
I actually have that on my APC right now. I'll probably take some pictures later of it and just post it up for people to see what we're talking about here. But it's so off. My Mayflower APC is coyote brown, and this tan Condor it sticks out like a sore thumb. It looks absolutely horrible.
It almost hurts me when I see, like, just from a really big gear hoarder point of view, it seems a little bit melodramatic, but it almost hurts to see a guy, like, running an Eagle plate carrier with cummerbund, and then he has it decked out in Condor tan, and it makes him stand out even more.
Yeah, this Condor stuff on mine is just temporary until I have the money to get the better pouches. This is just temporary for weekend pickup games. Once it gets later in the year and Bulldog and stuff like the Milsim's coming up, then I'll start investing in the better pouches.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. When you buy an APC, you may kind of run out of money.
I actually got a really good deal on this. It's a $220 vest or something like that, new?
$220 to $250 depending on where you're buying it from, yeah.
I got it for $150 used. It's in impeccable condition, so.
You didn't get the shoulder pads, though.
I didn't get the shoulder pads, but honestly I don't mind that. I really don't like them.
Most people hate them, so.
But it's comfortable for me, so.
That's what matters. The APC is a really nice vest.
The only problem I have with it is the only problem I have with it is a little bit short in the stomach area. So I'm wearing it with my ATT combat shirt. There's a lot of belly sticking out. It might just be because I'm fat, but there's a lot sticking out there, and I don't know, if I had a larger vest, it might work a little bit better.
You could post a picture of, I just recently uploaded some pictures to AirsoftSociety of me wearing my 6094, and it's above my belly button.
Yeah.
That's just the way vests are designed nowadays.
It just depends on about how things look. If you're wearing the full BDU jacket, then it looks okay. But if you're wearing a combat shirt, then it just doesn't quite look right.
It's just one of those things. A lot of people I've met, I remember one time I was talking to my brother and I was wearing my RV because I had just bought it and I was showing him and he was like, oh hey, you actually bought a plate carrier that fits you. I've seen all these pictures of guys with way too small plate carriers, and I was like, oh no, that's just how they're designed nowadays. And he was really confused. Because people see these smaller plate carriers and they figure, well, why would you want less protection? But in reality, you're actually wearing the same size plates. as like, say, the IOTV. It's just that they get rid of all the excess material that you don't need.
Yeah. I guess I've always looked more into fashion over function, but they say Airsoft is 98% fashion, so.
It definitely is. I mean, if it was really function, then why would any of us be wearing these non-ballistic helmets or, you know, it's really fashion over function. Some stuff, I mean, I wouldn't ever buy a Condor plate carrier now, like, since I learned why I shouldn't, because that actually does get into the realm of function. But, I mean, I spent $400 on a toy soldier rig, and that's not even a real one.
Yeah. I mean, even with the fashion part of it, I don't wear a helmet. I hate the feeling of having something on my head to begin with, which is weird because I'm a firefighter, but, you know, that helmet gets heavy.
It really does.
But I just wear a hat instead, and it looks just fine, especially since most of the time I'm just wearing my contractor look.
What do you think?
Hey, Will.
Will,
shut up.
You haven't been in this conversation at all.
No one loves you, Will. Shut up. You're adopted.
You could always, like, join the conversation, Will, you know.
No, because I'm a Gear Noob.
So that's why I'm asking a question. I'm a Gear Noob too, that's why I'm asking questions.
I'd be like, what's an
Yeah,
APC?
ask me questions. Make this section more interesting.
No. You can't have co-hosts that's this stupid about gear. Sorry.
Alright, what were you saying?
So if the people don't want to buy gear from Airsoft, GI, and e-bike, that kind of area, that specialize in airsoft stuff only, what kind of other places do they really want to look for at buying gear? What are the good gear places to go as far as good pricing, but a really good solid selection of gear?
Shooter CB Gear and Airsoft Smith. Airsoft Smith is US based in, Arizona or something. And then Shooter CB Gear is in Hong Kong, which means they're closed down right now. But those are your best choices for, like, the lower quality but still gonna last you for your airsoft career gear. And then there's also a website, AWS Industries. They only really have one thing that you'd want to buy, which is the Operator's Choice Plate Carrier. It's essentially a 609 4A, but for like, I think it's $150.
Okay, now like you said, Shooter CB and the other one, they're more for like fly and Pantac. What about getting into like the LBT and the Mayflower, the Cry, that kind of stuff? Do you just want to buy that stuff straight from the company, or are there other places you could go to get a good deal?
You're not going to get a good deal on Cry stuff pretty much anywhere, because just by the rules of supply and demand, I mean, a real JPC is about $250. You go onto eBay, you'll see them go for $350 just because they're always back ordered. If you can wait the 6 or 7 months, order straight from the company. And occasionally they'll actually be in stock and you can snatch one.
Okay.
But then there's places like Op Tactical and stuff.
Okay, and with the JPC, you wouldn't recommend going with a replica like the Emerson over the Cry one? Just if you really, really want one, but you don't need the Cry, you know, the whole Cry Gucci concept.
I've heard some pretty nice stuff recently about the TMC JPC. I think they call it like the skirmish plate carrier or something on EB Airsoft. But just as a more serious player, I know that I've torn through replica, like the lower quality replica things, in no time at all. But, you know, that's coming from a guy who, like, I tore a pair of Marpat, combat utility uniform pants in about 2 rounds in a game.
Oh, don't even get me started on Marpat pants. Every pair of Woodland Marpat pants I've owned, when I crouch, the crotch splits. I don't know what it is, but every time. Luckily, my desert Marpat pants haven't split. I did rip up the knee a little bit doing a slide, but that's because the concrete floor wasn't as slippery as I thought it was. I meant to slide about 10 feet and slid about 6 inches.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good.
I mean, like, I just replaced that pair that I was talking about with some Cry G3 pants that I bought for $120 online.
Mm-hmm. Right now I'm running, when I don't do my contractor kit, I mean, when I do contractor, it's just a pair of jeans, and that's really comfortable, actually. It's more comfortable than I thought it would be. But when I'm not running my contractor...
I ran jeans and a t-shirt for Bob vs. Tim 3, and I did like it, but I don't know, it goes back to the days of dressing up as a soldier when you're little. And I just feel like a guy dressing up for a day of work at, like, the golf field if I am wearing khaki pants and a polo shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I run my jeans and I have a black moisture-wicking polo shirt, and it looks really good for a contractor kit. With the tan gear, that kind of thing. It looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the contractor style.
But when I'm not running that thing, I have True Spec, their ATT pattern, the combat shirt and the pants. And those are really comfortable. People hate that camouflage, but I think it looks pretty good.
I hate it so much. Ugh.
Why do you hate it? It looks so awesome.
It looks so terrible.
I hate multicam with a burning passion, but this stuff actually looks pretty cool.
I hate you for liking it.
It's unique. At least give it that. It's unique.
It is unique. They took two good patterns and they made a bad pattern. That makes it unique. Never mind, because they did that with UCP Delta. Oh god.
They also have a digital ATT.
Yeah.
I wish I was joking, because that looks like crap. But it's not.
Yeah, I know you're not joking. I'm up enough in the gear world that I know that when you're not joking about this crap.
I'm still trying to find some affordable digital Vegetato. I want to do an Italian SF impression.
Yeah, Archer and I one night we were sitting there thinking, what could we do for a couple hours when we have nothing to do? And so we just started researching Italian kits for you. I don't know if he ever sent you the links that we found, but
no, he never did.
Oh, that dick. Okay, so we went over retailers, went over brands, what to look for, use gear, patterns. Don't buy black, don't buy olive drab, don't buy UCP.
That pretty much covers it, because black and UCP don't fit in with anything, and OD just really isn't. It's ugly. I hate OD.
It's not really used anymore, and that's for a reason. I mean, just from a money-saving perspective, khaki or coyote will fit with so much more stuff that you could buy, so at that point, if you're on a budget, then hey, you just saved a couple $100 by not having to buy an entirely new rig. And then, from the usefulness perspective, OD is going to be way too green for pretty much anywhere that you would want to buy from. Or not buy from. Anywhere that you would want to play at.
Yeah, I know with the fashion show perspective, it just doesn't look good with anything.
No. Even with like OD BDUs, or like a combat set, or ACUs or anything, you're going to end up looking kind of ridiculous as this, like, monotone olive drab blob.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I've seen that looked really good is my old team leader, before he left the sport. He used an OD flight suit and tan gear. That looked pretty good.
Oh yeah,
but
if you use like a sage green flight suit, khaki MBSS, or no, coyote brown MBSS, and a PACA, you're on your way to a VBSS kit from Force Recon.
Yay, video game loadouts.
Oh, yay!
I know the guy's still trying to put together a Battlefield 3 impression. I was just like, don't even bother.
The problem with making a video game kit is that so much of the stuff, they take real things, and then they just change it in ways to make it look more cool.
Yeah. But, oh well.
What?
Do we got anything else you want to talk about as far as gear goes?
Nah, I mean, we went over colors, we went over retailers and everything. Once again, don't buy Condor and Matrix, especially not Matrix.
Yeah, because Matrix, I mean, the only reason Evite plugs it is because it's their house brand. And I really don't see the point in buying house brands for Airsoft retailers, because, you know, Airsoft GI, their house brand is like the GI Customs, which are usually just combat machines, and don't get me started on that. And then, E-Bike, all their Matrix stuff is just rebranded, and their Matrix gear is just not good.
Oh, and quick plug about EVIC. So, Flying Pantech used to be the same company, Phantom.
Right.
And for the longest time, we weren't sure, like as a gear horror community, we weren't sure if the Phantom stuff on EVIC was the old Phantom, like, left over, but they've been restocking it, so now we're pretty much sure that it's just Matrix stuff that they named Phantom.
Uh-huh. So basically they're cheating.
Yeah, they're cheating and trying to trick people into thinking that it's Flyer Pantech.
Okay.
In other words, never order from EVIC.
Yeah, never order from EVIC.
Like,
well, gear at least. I like using them for guns and stuff, but
well, yeah, they have good deals. And if you know what you're looking for, and you don't listen to the incessant onslaught of recommendations from them, like, oh hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
Don't watch the
Then yeah, you can definitely buy good stuff from companies like that. But if you don't know what you're doing, then you're gonna get tricked.
Don't watch the videos because they'll try to make you buy stuff that you really don't want, but it makes you look like you want it.
Oh yeah,
because their videos just look so sexy. But you get it, and it's like a piece of crap.
Basically, when in doubt, ask your local gear whore.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, ask your local gear whore. I mean, like, if you don't know what something is or whether or not you should buy it, there are plenty of good communities like AirsoftSociety, or I'm not going to recommend IG. It's not a good community. It's full of really knowledgeable people, but they're not a good community. There's plenty of good communities around, like AirsoftSociety or UTAG, that you can go and ask about stuff, and we'll be more than happy to help you as long as you're not asking us to just make an entire kit for you.
As long as you don't ask to be spoon-fed, you'll probably do pretty good. Just put into some research first and narrow it down to what you think you might like, and then ask for advice, and people will be more willing to help you out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So is that it for our gear?
And I think that is. What's up?
One more thing about Airsoft GI. They've been pushing the new Condor Cyclone plate carrier. Mm-hmm. Well, like, literally just a couple months ago, they were pushing the Shellback Tactical Banshee.
Right.
That's Condor's ripoff of the Banshee.
Okay.
You know, just putting that out there.
Also, what are your thoughts on Voodoo Tactical as far as a company?
Voodoo Tactical is essentially Condor.
Uh-huh. As my drop leg platform that I run has the M4 pouches built in. That's a Voodoo Tactical. I've been running that for probably about 4 years now, and it's just now starting to fall apart, so they might be, I consider them a step up from what I've seen from Condor, but that's just me. That's just based on my experience with them.
Yeah, there are a number of different brands that just rebrand Condor, and they use OE Tech to kind of hide their name and stuff. There's OE Tech, Rothco, Voodoo Tactical. I mean, they're all essentially the same in most of their products. I mean, Rothco does rebrand, like, lower quality true spec stuff as well.
Mm-hmm. Is Voodoo Tactical really Condor?
A lot of their stuff is.
Because,
like, they have a plate carrier that's the MOPC.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Some of their stuff is different, though. I will give them that. It's still not very high quality.
Yeah, I'm involved in this drop platform, but it's just now starting to get a couple holes in it, so I'll probably be either replacing it soon or I'll just move up and put more mag pouches on my vest.
Yeah, like, if you go onto the website like I am right now, you've got the 28399 armor plate carrier vest with mono webbing and stuff. That's the Condor QRPC.
Yeah. I might just go get some HSGI tacos for my vest instead.
Oh my god, those are so expensive.
Then again, one taco is the price of what this drop leg platform cost me, so.
Oh, yes.
This drop platform cost me $30.
HSGI came out with their own, like, taco drop leg platform.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I just go to Taco Bell.
If I want tacos, I go to Taco Bell.
I mean, I don't get why you're talking about $20 tacos. I mean, seriously. It's like $1.
It's actually $42 tacos.
$42 tacos? I mean, come on. That's like 42 hard-shelled tacos at Taco Bell. Please.
If I want that kind of food, I'll just go to Freebirds instead. So much better.
Please.
Freebirds World Burrito. Man, those things are awesome. Haven't been there forever.
Anyways.
Freebird.
Anyway, don't get the fat guy start talking about food. We'll never get out of here.
I will talk about food with you. It will no longer be an Airsoft podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be the food podcast.
New podcast idea?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways.
Alright, I think that's been our gear segment. Let's move on to the reviews. Okay, so our first review for this week is the WE PX4, the Beretta. I got this for Christmas actually, and I have not used it in a game yet simply because of all the other GBBs I own. I don't alternate between my guns that much, and because I don't have a holster for this yet, I'm gonna wait till I have a holster for it before I start running it as an actual piece. So far from what I've seen, I like it, but it is a WE, so I've gotta be careful about how much I start to like it. The magazine is pretty nice, very clean. It has the whole thing has actual trades, which is pretty nice. It's not something you see very often. Magazine even has inscribed PX4 Cal 9 Para. It's a 20 round double stack magazine, which is very nice. I enjoy double stacked guns just because they do hold more ammo, and because I fire a lot of ammo, I need that. The thing I don't like about the PX4 is, in order to buy it from e-bike, I think it might have something to do with the licensing, but you cannot buy it in the full gun. You have to buy it in parts. You have to buy the lower and the lower frame and the slides separate from each other. They're each about $50, so you're really only $100 into the gun, but still it is a little bit of a pain.
Ugh.
When I first got the gun, I put it together. It has you really need to lube it really bad because it sticks. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible sticking. I've racked this thing probably about 10 times, and there's already wear starting to show on the outer barrel, so I'm not overly impressed by that. Orange tip on it is ugly as all hell. I'm still trying to figure out how to take that off because it doesn't seem to be threaded on there, which honestly is good for me because I don't like threaded barrels, but I really don't want to try and melt this thing off either and damage the gun. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get that thing off. Might just take a hacksaw to it for fun. Like I said, it does have full trademarks of it. I'll have pictures up on the website later today, up on the Facebook and everything. I haven't really gotten too deep into the trigger internals of it yet. The thing I like about this thing is it's a mix of so many different things. It has the takedown of a Glock. It's double action like a SIG 226, which I'm a huge fan of the 226. It also has the safety of an M9. I like the M9 safety system personally. This gun also actually comes with, looks like the WE 6.03 tight bore barrel, which is stock, which is kind of nice. Actually lends itself to the accuracy. I'm quite impressed by the accuracy of this personally. Obviously it's not going to be TM accuracy, but the accuracy is on par with my KWA 1911, which rather impressed me. The gas efficiency on it is not overly impressive. It might be because it's been cold down here lately, but I've been getting about a mag and a half out of it at a time. So
that's not too bad for a pistol, though.
No, not horrible, but I'd like to see more. Also, with it, the FPS on it is between. I did the Coke can test, and it's between 325 and 350. So it's it's perfect range for the FPS you'll want on it. But personally, I guess I'd like to see more, but I'm not quite sure why. I'm not sure why I'd like to see more, but maybe just because I have high standards. Magazine clicks in really nicely. It has a nice locking click in. It sits nice and firm. Very few rattles on the gun. The slide is on there really solid. But like I said, you have to just lube the slide when you put it on because it sticks absolutely horribly. But the trademarks on it are real nice. Accuracy is pretty decent. The only thing I've seen that really wobbles is the outer barrel kind of wobbles in the
But that's standard on a lot of WEs.
Yeah.
Especially the M9.
The hell?
The barrel on my KGW 226 actually wobbles. I've been meaning to fix that, but now I'm just sending it to you, Tyler, to fix everything, so.
Yeah, well, now I got the freaking slide stuck about a
And
quarter
see,
inch
if,
back.
if anyone
so
wants to get us
help.
chronos, that way we don't have to do a Coke can test, feel free.
Yes. Well, I was
Send one
supposed
to me as
I was
well. I'm not even a normal here.
I was gonna chrono it yesterday at the FAA game, but unfortunately FAA shut down, so I wasn't able to go and chrono. One unique safety feature I do like about this gun, when the safety is on, well, you can pull the trigger back and nothing happens. It just goes back with no resistance. Also, if you rack it with the safety on, the slide will not go all the way forward. It'll stay about about an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch back. So you physically cannot fire this gun with the safety on. The slide will not return to the forward position unless the safety is off. Also,
That's a good feature.
Also, if the hammer is cocked and ready to go, if you put the safety on, it just goes forward a little bit. It does not fire the gun, but it goes ahead and puts your safety on. And then I guess it's a functional decocker really. And then you just flick your safety off and you have the double action ready to go.
This here is my safety. You can't see it, but I'm using my trigger finger.
Yeah. Your trigger finger is your best safety, but it's always nice to have a backup just in case. But honestly,
6-hour master race.
Personally, I prefer my FN57, but for WE, I'm rather impressed by it. It's a WE, so obviously nothing's really special. But for somebody who's looking for a PX4 but not wanting to drop the dollars on a 226, I'll definitely recommend this WE. I probably won't skirmish it myself until I have a Serpa for it and I start putting some TM parts into it. I'll definitely put a TM hop up into it and start reinforcing some of these other internal pieces. I'll probably leave the barrel in there, the Type 4 barrel, just to see how well it does. But it's got pretty good accuracy. I'm hitting, 3-4 inch square at 30 foot, which you're not going to really use a pistol outside 30 feet. And depending on your field's minimum engagement distance, if you're running a DMR and you got like a 50 foot minimum, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but it shouldn't be that bad. Y'all have anything you'd like me else to go over with it, or?
Are the trades filled in? Just a random question.
The trades are not filled in. I probably will end up filling them in. I'm just not quite sure how. I believe I got the silver slide, so that, if I fill them in, it'll be in black. But I think on the black slide, the trades are silver. I have to go and look at that on e-bike, but I'm pretty sure.
I actually don't think that they're filled in on the real one, but still.
I might fill them in just so you can see them better. That's the main thing. I'm a trade whore, so.
I will gladly spend more money for trades.
Yeah, I mean that's just my kind of thing. Is I like the trademarks. That's the one thing that disappoints me about my TM57 is it doesn't have the trademarks.
The Lonex.
The Lonex. Oh, those trademarks are horrid.
Oh God.
I want to get a new body for that, but I don't want to go with the GMP because of the fitment issues on the front. So I might get a VFC body for it instead. But then you have the hop-up issue. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go yet.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Will, do you want to go over the Burst Wizard?
Yeah, so www.ag Burst Wizard, they sent us a King Kong Elite, which is their $60 Burst Wizard. It's essentially a plug-and-play MOSFET. The main usage is just 3-round burst, and that's plug it in, you wait 5 seconds for a little red light to turn on, and boom, you have 3-round bursts. That easy. So it's very cool, and also on the 3-round burst, if you hold it down for 0.6 seconds, then it automatically switches back to regular full auto, and after you release the trigger, then it's back to your 3-round burst until you hold the trigger again. It also has many different features on this one, including you can set the round burst, set full auto delay, set the LiPo battery, set the ROF percentage so you can lower it. There are examples from 100%, which is how fast you'd be shooting without the Burst Wizard, and you can lower it to different percentage, like 40%. Some fields I have seen, they require different FPSs per ROF. So it's like 25 RPS has to be below a certain below a certain FPS, then you can just adjust it using your burst wizard. You can also set tap burst, set sensitivity, and spring advance, and you can sniper delay where you can only fire, I believe, every 2 or 3 seconds, or yeah, you can change it using the commands, which is basically just tapping the trigger. You can set magazine change delay time and magazine capacity, and you can set pre-cocking delay and battery decay composition time. So it's a really great product. It's only about 1.5 inches long. I barely got it to fit using a nunchuck into my MP5 handguard. It was a tight fit. I currently don't have it because someone is actually playing, using it in a gun today to play, and I'm actually going to send it to Tyler after I'm done with it. We will have a video review of it soon up on our channel, but after that, I'm going to send it to Tyler so he will be able to do some long tests on it in the long run, just to see how it holds up. It has great reviews on it. I definitely think it's a great product if you're looking for something like this. I mean, it's not your wired-in MOSFET, but it's definitely a really, really cool one. Just to have it, you can have a MOSFET in 5 seconds. It's a great little thing. I think definitely nice to have laying around. $60 for this specific one, but they do have a couple of different versions of it. I don't know if you guys have any other questions about it. Basically, it's just a circuit board covered up in shrink wrap with Tamiya connectors. I'm pretty sure you can get your Deans if that's what you want, or you can switch them yourself. But that's pretty much it, unless you guys have anything questions.
I don't really have a question, but I do have to comment that, like, from a milsim perspective, which is kind of what I've been adding to this entire thing, it's definitely nice because, like, my teammate runs an M16, and it's essentially, like, it can't really be too milsim because it fires full auto, even though we try to make it an M16A4. And stuff like this, the burst wizards and everything, it kind of adds that extra bit of realism that you want while still improving the functionality of the rifle.
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing for milsimmers because you have the delay, the magazine capacity. It's just a bunch of cool features. How you program it is basically through your trigger release. Usually it's 0.2 seconds per release, but it comes with a really nice instruction manual. This is the only Airsoft instruction manual I've ever read before, and it explains every single feature and how to set it up really well done by the guy. So props to him, he did a great job. Basically what comes in the package is just the burst wizard and instructions, a piece of wire, which I do not know what it's for. I think you can wire these in if you want to, but I'm not going to because I'm going to send it to Tyler, which he can do whatever he wants with it. But yeah, that comes with a wire and a piece of shrink wrap, the burst wizard and instructions. Just came in a little one of the yellow packages with bubble wrap on the inside. So yeah, it was fine for what it is. I like it a lot. It'll be interesting to see how it holds up over time, though. Any other questions or anything?
Wait, you said that this was your first instruction manual you've ever read for, like, an Airsoft product? You're not missing out. Most of it is stuff along the lines of, like, plug in and make happy.
I've looked at, I like, look over, it's like, plug into the battery, no thanks, I'm throwing this away.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love reading the instruction manuals just for the laughs.
Yeah, the Chinese.
Yeah. I like my G&P instruction manual I'm actually looking at right now. It just shows what extras come with the gun. Like it's got a freaking lion on here that has sunglasses that say G&P across them. And it's got some sort of like cat with one eye on it. It's just weird. It's all English. Yeah. Wires through the provided butt plate to out like this.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You think someone would actually write a nice instruction manual?
You'd think, but no, you'd be wrong.
So is that it for our review section?
I think so. Then you get the TM57 manual I have here. That there's not a single word in English; it's all Japanese.
That's awesome.
So if I need any help with my 5.7, I'm totally screwed.
I can't even read this.
Yeah, actually, same thing with my M500, my old M500 manual. There's nothing in there. There's a couple of things in English, but it's mostly Chinese.
So if that's it for review, I guess that's it.
Yep. So what are we gonna have next? What do our viewers or listeners have to look forward to next week? Will?
I don't know. You should tell them. You have the 14 guys blowbacks.
Yeah, we'll have some more news. Hopefully things won't slow down too much over this Chinese New Year. That we'll have some decent news items next time. Next time we're hoping we'll have an interview, and if not, we'll probably have another guest host from Airsoft Society, or if somebody else who's knowledgeable about a certain area of airsoft would like to be a guest host, just shoot us a PM on the Facebook page, and we'll make sure we get back to you. Next week, we're also going to have a review. We're actually going to do a follow-up review on my Tokyo Marui 5.7. I did an initial first impressions review when I bought it 3 years ago, and I'm just going to do another once over to show how it's held up over the past 3 years of pretty constant use. So don't miss that, because this is a beauty of a pistol. I'll probably also be doing a review over my GNP Zombie Killer M4 after another follow-up review after a year's use. So make sure to go tune in for those. They'll promise to be pretty good.
And make sure you guys check out our Facebook page, because that's where we have all our giveaways and pictures of the stuff that we review, and just random updates whenever we feel like spewing information at you. And also subscribe to our YouTube. We're actually doing pretty well for only having one new video up. So make sure you guys tell your friends about us if you enjoy us. If you hate us, then send Shady an email at ShadyTAP@gmail.com and tell them how much you hate us.
If we do something y'all don't like, let us know. Let us know how you think we can improve. We're always looking to improve as a podcast, especially since we are relatively new. We could always use any advice you guys feel like sending our way.